Hello and welcome. This is Ruth, and today I've got Wendy Vecchi's new launch for Spellbinders, and this one is called Not Your Ordinary Card Collection. It is really lovely. I've had a quick look, but I'm going to have a look in more detail now as I show it to you. We've got 4 die sets, a couple of little stamp sets, and then a really beautiful stencil set. So we'll start off over here, and this is the Pinking Edge Birthday add-ons. So we've got 3 Pinking Edge dies here. I've just taken mine out of my packet, and Spellbinder sent me these, so they weren't actually in packets when I got them, and I've put them on some magnetic sheets. So these are the Pinking Edge dies here, the 3 of them, and then you've got a birthday cake and some icing, happy birthday, and the little outside edges, 3 little candles, and then this is another 2 layers for the cake. This one goes along the bottom, and then this is for the top part there. So really lovely, and I think you can use plenty of these bits and pieces together throughout the die sets, and then obviously then incorporate them into all sorts of other things. Now this one is called the Essential Envelope, and it's actually really easy. It's this big die here. Let's see. Yep. So you'll just need to cut that out, and these are the fold over glue tabs, and it's just cut that out once, fold it over, glue it up, and you've got a little pocket. So it's an Essential Envelope die set, and then we've got, whoops, that's come from off there. Then we've got all these lovely dies that you can add on to the top of it. So big florals, some leaves, and then for you on here, a lovely butterfly, and then these little centers to the flowers or to the butterfly or whatever there. Really nice, but I think you're going to get plenty of use out of that. You'll always get plenty of use out of florals and foliage because those things go with everything. You just change the colour and change the paper that you're using. Now, this one's called the Halloween add-ons, and I don't really celebrate Halloween at all, but I looked at this and I thought, yeah, you know, there's lots of things in there that I could use too. But if you like Halloween, there's a spider's web, and then a bat, and another spider, and it says here, boo, happy Halloween, and October the 31st on the little stamp set. But there's a little sweetie and tickets, and this outline of a cat. The cat, you know, that's just really beautiful for cat lovers and all sorts of things. Then you've got your candy here, and these are the dies then that work around these stamps. A little star and another little ticket, and I know that I will definitely get lots of use out of that one too, so I will be using that in this video. I'll have a look at this one first, and then we'll check the stencil out after that. So this is the Christmas add-ons, and I've already, have to say, I dipped into this because I wanted to use some of this on some of the other projects that I've been using, because those holly leaves for a start just really tickled me, and this bow is layered and I've used that already. So I just grabbed them out of the die set, used them and popped them back in again. So we've got tickets again there, and then this foliage and little bells and holly. I'm not too sure, but you could use those as berries as well. And then this little piece here is the part that goes over the center of the bow, actually here, and then you layer that one on top of that one, and then 3 holly leaves. So we've got December the 25th, for you, love you, and Merry Christmas, and then the little center that goes into these leaves as well here. That's the veins there for that one. So that's really beautiful, and that's called the Christmas add-ons. Now, this is called Build a Plaid. So I'm just going to set this over here, but there are 5 stencils, and they're 6 by 6 in size. And maybe I should just bring a bit of black card in and show you them a bit better there. So these are actually numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, but looking at them, I think you could just use them in sort of any order that you like. And you don't have to use them all together. You could sort of, you know, make your own. It is called Build a Plaid, so you could do whatever you like with that. And I'm really looking forward to using that because I've never used stencils like that before. And I think you could be very creative. You could use them quite cleanly, or you could use them sort of inked and all the rest of it. Cleanly and inked, but then you could obviously ink around the outside of them and use them quite distressed looking as well. So all of these can be used together, or you can use them all with other things that you've got. But if you fancy this kind of thing and you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, and Actually, if you think you're subscribed already, maybe you just check that. I've just learned lately that YouTube has unsubscribed lots of people from lots of the channels that they already watch, and it's actually happened to me too. I've realised that I'm no longer subscribed to some of the channels that I had already been watching, and I wondered why their videos weren't coming up. So if you would check that, and then if you do resubscribe, that would really, really help my channel along as well. My affiliate links to everything I use will be down below in the description of this video as well, and I'll get a little commission from that, but it doesn't cost you anything extra too. So I really, really appreciate everybody who uses those already. I thought I'd like to try the stencil first, so I'm going to go into the first one with some sort of light brown ink and just go across here with my little brush. Now, I don't want this to be too deep, so I'm just going to take my time and brush into this. I've taken the second stencil now, and I've actually turned it upside down because, you know, you can just put these wherever you like. You can build up your own pattern, and that's what's so enjoyable about it. So now I'm going in with some dark green and I'm going to build up this pattern this way. I had a little play with those stencils there, and I sort of moved them around a bit and added different colours in, and then went sort of horizontal with the vertical one and made this little pattern. I actually had a little play there with some glimmer paste from Tonic Studios as well, and this is only in its early stages, but doesn't that look lovely on there as well? You'd have to dry out each layer just before you add the next one, but it does look beautiful. I have cut this die out once and burnished those little score lines back. This actually could not be easier. Just like that, and all you need to do now is put glue along here and here, fold that over, and you've got your little pocket. That's the little envelope. And then what I think I'll do is just take the big die that I was using for the front of that, for the whole thing actually, and just die cut one area of it here and put it straight onto the front. Back to this die set, and I've used this and this together, so this cuts the outline, and then this one here will take these little pieces out right here. And to tie this all together, then I've gone back to the ink that I used here and just blended around the outside, and I've made done the same thing with the smaller one. I'm going to shape those petals just slightly here by bringing them in with a little ball tool, just bringing the petals in a little bit like that. I don't want too much dimension on them, but just a little bit, because I always think if there's petals or leaves or something like that, you need just a little bit of shape on them. So I am going to put these on here, and just a little thing, whenever I finished that, it wasn't quite the colour that I had in my mind. It was, in my mind, was going to make something quite a bit brighter, and I was just going to throw that out, scrap the video and start again. But now that I've added the flowers and cut out the little leaves and things, I'm really glad I stayed with it. Do you ever do that? Sometimes you just have something in your head that just doesn't turn out quite right, and then you're just about to scrap it when you have a light bulb moment and think, right, I know how I could salvage that. And I'm actually really happy now because I really, really like it this time. Again, I've cut out these tiny little flowers here, and I have inked them. They were ivory, and I've inked those with the little ink pad that I used for here, and I'm just going to go down into the center of those with an embossing tool and then glue a couple of those in here. The smaller one, actually I'm going to use the smaller ones around this. I really wanted to use the bigger one in the center there, so I'll just do that first of all, and then pop that in, and then I'm going to add the leaves on, And again, I have cut the leaves out in green card, but I have inked them with the ink that I used on the embossing on the stencils. And that was really just to bring it all together. Then I have picked out these little gems. I really, really love these. And the fact that you've got all different sizes in one packet really, really is a fantastic thing. So these are peach blush, and I'm going to add just whatever size I think fits best. I think the bigger one into the center of that. That gives a little sparkle, and doesn't that really bring all that to life? So once I add the leaves and things onto that, well, I'm really, really glad that I've done that now. There it is, all finished, and it does look really, really beautiful. I'm really, really happy with it now. So I've now taken 2 of these pinking dies from the other little die set that I showed you earlier. I've cut one out in white and one out in, this is a Tonic Classic card, and it's bubblegum pink, but it matches in really well with that ink, and that fits in there and it sits up. So it just is a little bit big, which is exactly what I wanted. And now I've got the 4U from the same die set, and there it is. I'm just going to glue the U onto there, and that's it. And I picked white out particularly this time. I was going to stick to cream and ivory again, but I think the white just sort of makes that stand out a bit better. And the 4U just sits up lovely whenever you pop it in here. Now, wouldn't that be really lovely on a card as well? I'm going to leave it just as a little sort of envelope as it is itself, and you could have a little gift token or money or something inside there, and you could pop this inside an envelope. But I think that would look really, really lovely on a card front as well. I set this little pocket onto a card front just to see what it would look like, and it's really, really lovely, isn't it? So I thought I'd go ahead and make another one and actually put it onto a card front this time. So I've cut out this bubblegum pink card here and made the little pocket. Really, really easy, that, just because you only make it in one cut. And then I took this large pinking edge die and I cut just a piece of the right across ivory card. As you can see, I've cut it at the top here, and then I moved it down and just kept those opposite each other there, and that gave me this lovely little shape that goes across here. I am going to just put it on there, sort of line it up, and then fold it around so that I don't have any sort of rough edges at the sides of it, and I'm going to glue that on. And then I've got a little piece of matching ribbon, and I've already got double-sided tape on that, and I'm going to go ahead and put that on first. So that will be how I start this little pocket, and then I've got some flowers and things ready just to add on to that to decorate it as well. I'm going to have 2 double layer flowers this time, so I've got out the plain one without the little detail in the center, and then a detailed one as well in both sizes. And first of all, I'm going to give them a little shape with the embossing tool on the back there, just like that, and then turn it over and press into the center. And I don't want them too shaped, but I do want a little bit of dimension on them. I'm going to do exactly the same thing with all of these other pieces before I layer them up. Doesn't that look totally different with all the dimension and the 2 layers of flowers this time? It's really, really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this onto the card front, and then I'll make a little insert like this to put on the inside. This time I've taken the Happy Birthday from the same pinking edge die set and just put it along the top in green to match in with the leaves here, and added just where the eye is there, put a little flower above that with a little gem in, and then put one above the happy as well. And this little butterfly is from the set that has this in it as well, a little envelope set, and I just curled the wings of it round in a bone folder, an embossing tool, round this bone folder, and give it a little bit of dimension. So now I've got this little insert and it's on top of a card, so either way I think looks perfect. Now I've got the pinking edge die set and I just wanted to look at that in a little bit more detail, and I thought I would make a card with this as the outside edge rather than use it as a layer. So I've made my card like this. I probably should have put my die a little bit further over the edge, but anyhow, I folded the card in half like that. That's actually two pieces of card folded together there, folded over, and then I've laid this on top so that the top edge was above the top fold. So if you can see here, I'll actually show you as if this was the fold here. You lay it like that so that that's above it, and then those pieces will stay joined and not cut into two separate die cuts. So it's joined up at the top here, and now I've got that, which I can use as a little top fold or even a side fold card, just whichever way you like. I have then gone ahead with the two smaller dies, the two pinking edge ones, and I have cut one out in iridescent mirror card. It's really lovely, but it's very shiny. So I immediately glued a piece of white card on top of it, and I'm just going to pop that right into the center. If I tried to show you that before that white panel was on, you would just see me looking back. That's not what you want to see. Now, this is really cute. So if you cut out this die, it gives you the background of the little cake that you can add all the other little bits and pieces onto. It will cut out this. Now, I've already cut the candles out, so this one is cuts out 3 candles and 3 little flames up at the top, and I've already gone ahead there and I have glued the little candles on, and then I've used the iridescent mirror card, exactly the same stuff that's on the background there, and I'm going to pop, whoops, too much glue, another little one, a little flame above that one as well. So I should actually do it off the card, I'm sure. So this die then cuts this piece, which I'm going to put on here. Now I'm guessing that's the outer icing or fondant icing around the top of the, just around the whole outside of the cake. That would go on there. And then this piece here, which is cut with this die, I've used it in glitter card, and that would be your top frosting or your top icing or whatever it is that you'd like to call that, and that goes right up here. Now there's another little die which is here. I've cut that out in the iridescent mirror card yet again. Now if that was a bigger piece I'd put it on with double-sided tape, but it's quite small so it doesn't matter too much, and I'm going to glue that directly on there, and that's my little cake all layered up. Obviously you could add more detail onto that and little flowers or whatever you want on there, but I have got my card ready. It's going to be a top fold one, as I said, and the little cake is going on here. I'll put that on 3D foam pads, and then I've cut out the happy birthday. Now you can see there that there's actually background dies for those as well, but I want to keep this as much white showing through as possible, so I'm going to go ahead and glue those on there just like that. And there it is finished. I love the clean cut colours of that, and I actually love the way the samples all coordinate. Maybe you like to see all different colours used, but I kind of like whenever it comes to the end of my video that I take all my photographs and things, I like these all to be coordinated. Let me know down below. I'm interested to know what you think about that. Sometimes I do them sort of multicoloured, but I kind of prefer this coordinated look. I've started to use the Halloween set here, so it's the Halloween add-ons with the little envelope. But I really should have said, though I'm sure you already know, that as this is the birthday add-on, that this would be suitable for putting on here as well. That's what it's actually made for. But I just thought I'd show you a different way of using it. But the little cake and the happy birthday would be beautiful on there. Now I've taken the white embossing folder from the embossing folder of the month for September 2024, and I've cut it out with this die. So it's this part here, and then I just trimmed off a little bit down each side and along the bottom so that it fits on there, but we've still got a little white border showing. And you can see then that I've actually gone ahead with a little cat. Now I mentioned at the start of the video that I'm not a celebrator of Halloween, so if you wanted to make a Halloween one, you could go ahead and follow the packaging ideas or use your own ideas to do that with a little black cat. That would be nice, but I'm going ahead with just a little white kitty on the front of this, and I hope you like this one too. So there's my embossing folder, and I've also made the cat in white, and it's going to sit on top of this, but I'm going to make the cat up first and then put it on 3D foam pads. So you'll see that's actually the Christmas one, because I've used a couple of dies out of that as well. So this is the background cat, that's what I would call it. This piece, and then the other piece just gets glued on top of it. So I've cut this one out in white, and then I've cut this one out in white, and you can see that I've just put a little bit of grey inking around that there, just to differentiate it from the white background that I'm going to have, and also to give it a little bit of dimension. And I'm going to glue one on top of the other there. Lift it up, could see it better. There we are, and then that gives you a little background to add all the other pieces in. So if you have a look here, there's a tiny little die there, and that is the kitten's nose, the cat's nose. I've cut that out, it's very, very tiny, but I've cut that out from lovely glitter card, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue that in, and that way we'll not lose it, but that goes right in there. I'll zoom in a little bit. And then on this one here, I've put some iridescent mirror card, just 2 pieces of it, in behind the eyes, and then that has given me these shapes that I can now glue in here, and the little circles which go in here. Then I put the same little glitter card in behind the 2 ears on here, and that has given me these pieces here, which I can, sorry, not that one, these pieces here, which then I can go ahead and glue in there. Now I've taken the little heart and the little bow, so this is actually made up of 2 dies as I showed you at the start, and they're both from the Christmas add-ons, and I've popped them up on 3D foam pads, and I'm just going to add the little bow. I was actually going to put the bow there, but it covers the eyes too much. The heart, no, I think it's best this way. There we are. And the heart then can go just above it. And all I need to do now is make a little insert for this one. That's it, finished. I have taken this big tag punch. I really, really love that. I use that on the banner one quite a lot, as you probably know if you've already seen some of my other videos. So I cut a piece of card to 2.5 inches wide, and then I punched the top of it with this, and that gave me that lovely banner shape. And I've put a rectangle of white card in there, and I just put ribbon through the top, and then I added the same little bow that I have down below here just to tie it all together, and that's rather pretty. I'll leave the link to the banner punch down below and the tag punch as well. If you're interested in those, you might want to have a little look at those. They're really, really handy for all sorts of things, for adding on to the front of cards and things as well, but that just suited that as well. Now I've moved on to the Christmas add-ons, and I really wanted to keep them all this colour, but that's just not really Christmassy. So I have cut out this beautiful big die here in the lighter green and the darker green, and it just fits that curve of the top of the pocket there like that. So I've glued it on, and quite often I don't just add the glue to the bottom of the leaves, because I like to sort of flick those up a little bit, just give a little bit of dimension. So it's not that they're not just stuck down, I actually meant to leave it like that. Then I stamped out Merry Christmas from a little stamp set that goes along with this. It's there. and then I die cut that with the little corresponding die from this die set, and I've got 3D foam pads in the back of that, and I'm just going to put that right down there. Now I've taken the little bow, which you've seen me use in so many of those other little pockets because I really love it. So it's this die is the background, that is this one here. That will get glued on flat. Now I'm just going to put it up at the top this time. So across, some glue across there, and we'll put it right there. Now the second piece is this one, and I've die cut that, and then I've taken my little bone folder and held it in the middle here and just run the bone folder in behind that, and then you can sort of flick it up so that the little piece in the center stays down flat and the two sides sort of rise up, and then I can pop that down in there, and I usually just hold it in place with my tweezers and leave it like that. You can, however, as what I've done with one of these ones, I think it was this one, I added 3D foam pads in behind that just so that it stays up, but I'm going to leave that one just like that. Now I've also die cut the holly, the leaves here. There's a little stamp in the set as well that means you can stamp the veins onto that, but I am just going to leave them like this because this is the way I like it. And I'm going to add some of these around here, and I've die cut the berries with the little berry die as well, and I'm going to pop that in, and we'll get some greenery and some red going on around this as well. I like the white background in this here. It gives it a really nice bright feeling to it. I've added Tonic Studios Morning Dew crystal drops onto the bottom here on the little berries. Now it's sort of milky looking at the minute, but that will dry clear, and whenever you see the final photograph that will be clear, and hopefully the red then will show through. And then I made myself an insert to go in here, and that's the cherry red and the white on top, and I've got the holly leaves and the berries again on there. Now I'm not sure if I said or not, but there was a little die, a tiny little piece. I'm actually not even sure where I've put it now, but it's on my desk somewhere. It's the little piece that just goes into the center. So after I added the bottom of the bow and then the top, there's a tiny little piece that goes in there as well. There it is. I can show you it now. That one. So that's what that's for, and the rest are bits and pieces of berries and whatnot. So that's in there. And final photographs, hopefully the Morning Dew crystal drops will be clear on both of those. Now that's all my samples made with those for the moment. I really enjoyed that. It's just that this is so easy to use and so quick, and you can make lots and lots of beautiful things with all those add-ons. So I hope you've enjoyed watching. If you have, don't forget to give my video a big thumbs up because that always helps. It encourages me, and it also helps my channel along as well. If you have enjoyed it, you can leave me a little comment as well and let me know what your favourite one of all of these is, and what you might do differently, and how you've enjoyed it as well. So don't forget too that my affiliate links for everything that I've used and for the rest of the launches for September will all be down below in the description of this video, and that doesn't cost you anything to use my links, but it does help me a lot, supports me and helps me continue to create some content for you. As well as that, if you haven't subscribed, don't forget to do that and hit the notification bell. And until next time, happy crafting, and thanks very much again for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.